So I'm Fabien. I'm an engineer by training. I spent more than 10 years in startup doing physical products, where I joined as a first employee, building the go-to-market and the sales function along with the founders. And so I did twice this 0 to 1, and basically together with the founder companies from worth not much to more than 200 million combined. And what it taught me is basically the complexity of building a hardware company from the ground at human scale, but also like kind of a frustration of iteration speed. And that's why I wanted to move to the software industry where you can ship in days and learn in days. And I was already familiar with the startup studio model and its benefit of increasing the delivery pace. And so that's why I choose to join OSS Ventures. And as I'm an engineer, I'm also driven by basically complexity and how to find easy and beautiful solution to complex problem to bring a huge impact. In industry, procurement is a hard job. So you have to understand the specification tolerances for each part as a scale of thousands or hundreds of thousands of parts. So this is hard. Today, this is getting more and more complex as the supply chain is getting more global. And what happens is also that 80% of the cost of a part is locked basically within the specification. So you very much have to think like a kitchen where the cost of a dish is locked into the recipe. And today, procurement team in manufacturing are sent to bargain at the grocery store, ingredient by ingredient, with no room to move the recipe. Procurement team today are extremely good, but the buyer is sent to the grocery store at the end of the chain, and so it delivers like basically 1/10 of the performance it could deliver if it could move the recipe. So everyone knows that there are big gains hiding in the technical data, but nobody knows how to get this gain. And so Parsio is basically the tools that we give to the procurement team to find these gains and capture these gains. And done this right, we are speaking about 100 billion of missed savings at the European scale. And this is basically what makes the difference between a company that stays competitive and a company that moves to the east. First, because I'm convinced by the mission. So reindustrializing Europe is something that speaks to me. So I'm an engineer by training. I came from south of France, and basically where I grew up, there is no factory left. Almost no factory left, and I could not work in the south of France as an engineer. So this mission really speaks to me. And then why OSS? So I was already familiar with the startup studio model and the benefit of basically the repeatable assets, the domain knowledge to increase the delivery pace. And what I underestimated is also the access to decision maker, which is especially valuable today, where we are not selling only a piece of software, but also something which is transformation for the way procurement team and department work. And having access to these leaders who share this vision, who can move the line along with us, is invaluable. So it's a problem I lived in my past. Different startup experience I had was the design choice we made that were made far upstream impacted the go-to-market strategy, because basically the price of the device we built in-house was locked by design choice we had no bargain over, and it basically prevented us from accessing different markets. So I was already familiar with the procurement engineering problem. Basically what's made a difference is I wanted to have to work on a problem with a massive impact. And what happened is that today 97% of the solution for procurement are made to the laptop or tape and not to go deep into the data. But there is like massive savings inside this data. There is also like a big why now, because what we are building was not possible 6 or 9 months ago because of the AI and the possibility to handle this massive unstructured data and engineering knowledge. And so that's why I choose to launch Parsio to work on this massive problem unaddressed with a massive why now. OSS is basically bringing the domain knowledge, the industry expertise. What I found more valuable is also they're providing a methodology, delay line, basically providing they have the scars of having launched more than 20 startups, and the scars also on the data point of implementation, successful or not, at thousands or hundreds of clients. And so they are basically providing the good insight at the good time to the founding team to help them make the better decision and adjust the direction at the good timing. And on a more practical way, this is also thanks to SS that I've met Xavier, my co-founder and CTO. Of course, the expertise and the domain knowledge of OSS on industry. So they basically domain expert on a huge span of industry, but this is kind of what I came for. So I expected this. But what surprised me most maybe is the ability to take hundreds of messy conversations, so client conversation, and out of this messy conversation, take out clear product concept and take out value out of this. Building an AI solution at the exact moment where AI is changing so fast and where very few have done this is extremely difficult and something I maybe underestimated. And it's especially true when an industrial trust is earned really slowly, but can be lost very fast. And so this is a part that is extremely hard and where OSS is also bringing a lot of value. One concrete win is that basically with one of our co-design partners, we're doing like Instaker for warehouse automation. And they were doing like basically 350 different parts for the same need. Procurement team was really blind to what they were doing and why. They were blind because they don't know why they were doing like this 350 parts, and they didn't know as well if they were doing at a good price. And we help them reduce the complexity of their portfolio, lower the number of parts from 250 to 200. And by lowering the complexity, we were able to enlarge the pool of suppliers. So go from a mono-sourcing solution to multiple suppliers, and so lower the price by 10% as well. They were unable to do this manually, and just to make a price on a motor, they would have to fly an expert from a location to another location, and it took 6 months, and basically we did what we did in 2 weeks. My advice would be to tackle a problem that you carry into your gut, because OSS will provide the support to launch the company, so the design partner, the tech, but you have to feel the problem in your gut to have the energy to carry the company into the difficult situation. So OSS has helped us build the first version of the solution. And so today, basically, and to the customers a map of where the saving hides, and they recover these savings manually by launching a request for quotation and the likes. In 12 months, we want to also build this agentic brick that will help them to recover these savings. But also in 12 months, I would love if industrials think about Parsio when they want to tackle this savings problem, because it will directly impact their productivity.